For those who don't know me, I'm Lindsey at Hedgey. I was going to start with a little overview of what we do for anyone who doesn't know us, and then spend most of the time like showing you like products and mostly like DAO House NFTs. Um, so cool. I'll just kick it off, right? Is that cool, Deacon, if I just go? Yes. Take that as a yes. All right, let me share a screen real quick. Cool. All right, you can see me. Just stop me if like something breaks. Cool. So for those who don't know us, we are Hedgey. We work with DAOs. We build protocols that help DAO treasuries do pretty heavy stuff. We pretty much focus on three areas. We help DAOs when they need to fundraise, compensate contributors, or collaborate with other DAOs through DAO swaps. And we've worked with some cool DAOs, most notably DAO House, and Gnosis, and Gitcoin, Shapeshift, and Alchemix, and a bunch of other cool people. Just real quick on the product stuff. When we talk about Raise, we have these are in stealth mode, but they're products that DAOs can use to like fundraise or distribute locked tokens. Gitcoin, for example, just uses for a $6 million diversification for their like treasury diversification. That was all run on chain through our protocol. Super cool to participate in that, and I think a really good use case of like our products to help DAOs, which is kind of why we started. Compensate. I think anyone in DAO House who's received like a locked Hedgey knows this product. We like the idea of building compensation, but around like locked tokens. So we have a product that allows DAOs to give their like core contributors locked tokens, but also a little something extra, which is the Hedgey's NFTs, which I'll talk about more and actually show you some products. And the last thing we do is we build tools that help DAOs collaborate through treasury swaps. This is something that's kind of like just starting to pick up speed and make sense to me personally. But DAOs partner with each other, they collaborate, and so they swap tokens. And we just build stuff that helps them do that and bake in the rules about like locking and transferability and all that other stuff. All right, so now to the fun part. White mode, gonna burn my eyes. So this is our app. I was gonna just show you one of the products like in motion. Hopefully it doesn't break like demos. This is the I'll do the contributor reward. So this is just an app to where if you want to send someone locked tokens, you can do that. And the unique thing about our protocol is when you send someone locked tokens, they're held in a vesting contract, and the recipient receives an NFT with the rights of those tokens kind of burned onto the NFT. So after the unlock date, they can redeem the NFT for the tokens, but it also means that NFT is kind of like super powered. You can do a lot of stuff with it, like vote, borrow against your locked assets, transfer, a bunch of other stuff. Now, this is typically done for DAO House. It's done on the Hedgey Boost, which we built into House. I should probably just pause to thank Spencer for all of this because he literally just willed this into action. Like the whole contributor reward idea was literally Spencer just knowing how to use like our protocol better than us. So with that in mind, continue. So here I'm just gonna like distribute some House. So if I wanted to send I'll send it to myself, one House token, and let's say I wanted to make sure it was locked for, let's make it locked for years. If I want to make sure it's locked for 7 years, let's just go with that. I'm going to do that. So I click that, I click that, confirm it on my wallet. Let's see how fast Gnosis chain is today, post merge. I'm mostly waiting to see if our confetti feature works, to be honest with you. And as I go through this, like feel free to jump in, ask questions, anything you want. Like, so that's our app. So I just sent myself a locked Hedgey. Let me actually
Love
look
the
at this thing
confetti.
on chain. Yeah, why not? Why not do confetti, you know? Here we is. So look, I literally just minted this. It talks to our protocol because it's house token. We have these shirts baked in, and now I have this NFT for 7 years, and it's going to have one house token locked inside of it.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you throw up an address, I mean, I'll send this. I'm sorry, it's like so little house, but first person to throw up an address somewhere in the chat, I'll just send this to you later after I'm done. But so let's talk about these. I mentioned DAOs uses the boost to do this, which I think is a really cool build-in of it. These NFTs, like they're like real NFTs. So that means like for Gnosis chain, all the house that's distributed, which it looks like a recent one was done, is on ePore. And as you can see, all of the tokens, you know, it's not just on metadata; it's on the NFT itself. So you can see that this NFT has 262 house locked until November 1st, 2023. And let's see, yeah, I guess like on my portfolio, do I have any others that are worth showing? I think the house looked the coolest. I have some chili tokens. I made those going to Denver. Those are pretty rad. Anyways, okay, so oh, this is a random one I threw a Christmas hat on. If you want to have some Christmas hats or any type of holiday item, we could do that for the next month. And this is OpenSea. This is the collection. Gitcoin just used this for a diversification. This is like a Easter egg, but the laser eyes on these appear at certain dollar values. So do with that what you will. And this is the other stuff. This is like the stuff that I really like about these because the NFT is like cool. It's a cool novelty, but I think there's a lot of potential for what this does to make it like truly like a powerful DeFi tool. One of the things, like this is a snapshot strategy that allows voting rights for locked tokens. You can bake these in to be like 1-for-1 to where locked tokens can still vote. You can also do like multipliers that are like responsive to like real time. So if like you have tokens that are locked for a longer period of time, perhaps they have a stronger way to vote, and that can evolve over time as well. And I think it's interesting when you start to take elements of voting and move them beyond just one-to-one token value, and you start to pull in other concepts like reputation. Obviously, from Sky and DXDAO is like one of my favorite things, but in this case, it's kind of like aligning long-term stake in the DAO, like commitment to the DAO. I think so. That's one interesting strategy. We also use them for like gating, sort of guild strategies built out for these, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'll pause there. Pause on something better looking. Does anybody have any questions before I kind of keep rambling? I see Sky in here. You want to throw me a bone, Sky? Ask a softball question.
You move. You're on how many? Yeah, you can do this on all different chains, right?
Yeah, this is on. Let's see, what are we on? Where's the app? So right now we're on Arbitrum, Avalanche, BNB, Boba, Celo, Ethereum, Phantom, Gnosis, Harmony, Optimism, Polygon, and OKX. Basically any EVM. Oh, we're also on ETHMOS as well. But yeah, you can do this on any chain. And we use colored backgrounds to designate what chain you're on. So the NFTs themselves, you could do a lot with these. I mean, we just use Hedgeys as like placeholders, but you know, these are responsive. You can use them to reflect like token information, like anything. You could be super creative with it. But green is our color, obviously, for Gnosis. Thank you, Sky.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you all think? People listening, like, is this cool? Is this lame? If you have questions on how you could use it, does anyone actually have one of these from Gnosis DAO in here?
I got some, and I always get excited when they show up in my safe.
Yeah, I know we were jamming on ideas back in Denver, like different ways to use these. And I think you had some more radical ideas than even I did. You can.
Yeah, yeah. Like the snapshot boost was really cool, and so I was just thinking of ways of like introducing Hedgey tokens as the on-chain governance tokens. Like so in Moloch v3 framework, we could make a Hedgey governance token, or we could
Yeah.
make it like a shaman, where you like the shaman is issuing shares around tokens, and maybe need to require to like soul bound a Hedgey to get governance. I think there's
I'd
that's
love
the
that.
cool
Yeah.
thing about on-chain stuff, right? We can tie our inputs and outputs together to do interesting composable craziness.
Yeah, yeah. That's the coolest thing of this. It's like there's a lot of like just vanilla contracts you can use just to bake in investing and all the like the traditional rules. It's all pretty simple stuff, but like we always try to think about like what is the thing that on chain can do that isn't just like a copy paste of existing models. Like what is the actual power and the benefit rather than just trustless and not having to, you know, the things we talk about all the time. Like what are the superpowers you can do um, if you make in this case, like vesting object that is composable and interoperable with other products like Snapshot. Um, I like the idea of non-transfer because everyone uses transferable, but we have the non-transferable feature as well. And I would love like the idea of like vesting, like if you're vesting traditional ideas of vesting, if you use like non-transferable and you can bake that stuff in. I don't know. I think that's really, really cool. All right.
What about like, sorry, like a time bomb Hedgey, one that has tokens locked up, but if you don't like do some action by some time, it never vests. It'll
Yeah.
burn or
We're
revert.
building we're building revocable traits into these, like beyond a certain time. So if you think about it like in traditional finance, like a cliff where if you got hired and you got stock options at a Web2 company and you got fired, they could just, you know, revoke your vesting, um, your vesting tokens. We want to bake that in, but make it open enough to like still allow people to be creative. So you could bake it into anything. You could make it to where it is like vesting, to where the DAO could just like revoke it before a certain time, or you could bake in some kind of like oracle, like where people say, yeah, you like didn't do X, Y, and Z, so your tokens blew up. That'd be rad. Is anyone watching soccer, by the way? Like the World Cup is on. I don't know if any soccer people are on right here, but I just watched Brazil lose to my right.
All our teams have lost at this point, I think. No, I don't know.
So Lindsey,
It's
like,
crazy.
been thinking about this a little bit recently. The vesting is really a benefit to the organization, right? Like, so you don't sell your shit tomorrow. You hold on to it. You remain aligned, to the organization and stuff along those lines.
Yeah.
Have you guys been thinking about like how you can reward, the contributors that now all of a sudden they got paid and something that they're not getting for, a year or seven?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's a great question because like I think there's two parts. That one part is a lot of those terms could be baked in beforehand. Like I know Shapeshift, they use it as an opt-in and they use it to where the tokens are locked for a year and they just receive like a bonus for getting locked tokens. So in that sense, like the benefit for them is that they get more tokens in exchange for them being locked for a period of time. The other things you can do benefit wise are just like allow people to use the NFTs more. So we're working with an NFT lending and borrowing platform now, and I think we have someone live with this who is going to use it on launch to be able to like borrow against lock tokens, which creates like a whole different dynamic to where you could potentially become liquid even with lock tokens, but you still get the upside of if they like accrue value over a period of time, like you still have that upside of having tokens. Because I think in a bear market, like this is just personal. I do believe I do believe tokens in a bear market, like that's when you want to accumulate a lot of tokens. So I think there's a big upside for tokens in the next year or two if you get them now. But to your point, I think like if you just have a 1-for-1 trade-off, it could feel like the contributors getting maybe just the short side of the stick. That makes sense?
Yeah, for sure. And the bonus for locking, that's the responsibility of the organization that's telling you to, make this, short-term sacrifice for long-term gains, and being able to borrow
Yeah.
against it's really cool. I dig that idea.
Yeah, I can share more on that whenever it goes live. But I mean, we want to definitely explore a lot of that stuff, just like add a lot of value to what these things can do when you get them, and not just like cool value, but like like financial benefits like that, which I think are important because like we all need like to pay rent and survive and stuff like that. Yeah, good question. I do think like I'll just say like I think I love the idea of like tokens having some kind of lock, not from an individual sense, but like an organization sense, because like I feel like it's something that is missing if people are only paid in like USDC. Like I know it's very good to be paid in USDC to have stability and everything, but like if there's some kind of mix or dynamic when we get into like optimum states of treasuries and DAOs where you can have both, I think my optimal state has always been like when you have enough USDC to survive and be comfortable and have like those like psychological security principles where you feel good, but also have some type of lock token to have like an incentive collectively as an organization to push it forward and to be thinking about like the impact of decisions in a year or 2 years or 3 years rather than just nothing I do matters beyond the last month I get paid. So I don't know, that's talk about that kind of stuff in here a lot, just like what is the optimal state, and that's what I think. But I think DAOs have a lot of work to do in general, just to get to that state. Obviously, you have to have the stable coins. Thank you. Anything else? That's a good insight. Good question.
I don't have anything else, but
Well,
I am thinking of other things so we might need to jam again soon.
yeah. Of course. Look, I appreciate the time to talk about the DAO House Hedgies today.
Yeah.
And I think I'll follow up. I'll send some info on like some of the new updates we have coming out around like the borrowing. I'd love to jam on ideas around like some of the additional functionality. And apart from the compensation stuff, I mean, like I think our products around like DAO to DAO swaps are interesting. So I don't know if those are things you're all exploring at DAO House, but I think that's important, and I also think the fundraising is important in this one. We start to see more people using those products in the last month or two. So I don't know. That's
Is it
it.
possible to?
Yeah, something Travis said kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Is it possible to like change the unlock time parameter based on some sort of condition? Like you could program in a
What kind of
way.
condition?
Some sort of
Yeah,
on-chain condition, perhaps. Like, you accomplish something and therefore you're rewarded by reducing the amount of time until unlock or something.
I would totally build that. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, like conditional unlocks. We have a call with someone next week who I think they're trying to build an Oracle solution to this, which I'm always a bit wary of. But if you could have something that's like definitive, like it's definitive on chain, and that would reduce the lockup period of something. Like totally, that's a really cool area to explore.
Even if like a DAO passes a proposal, right? Like if a DAO says, "Hey, you did this work," pass the call the on-chain transaction based on some sort of governance and.
Yeah, you could easily do that. I think actually, you just have like a defined wallet that could essentially like change those parameters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool idea, George. Let me write that down. I know this is my presentation, but it's a really good idea. I may follow up with you on that.
Sure, yeah. I love the project, by the way. I've been in DAOs for a while and been receiving Hedgeys and
Cool.
Unfortunately, I don't have too many questions. It's a pretty like straightforward protocol. It's very awesome in its simplicity. So.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean that's it. We just want to be something in the background that other people use, like to build their own, like communities up with and stuff. So the fact that it's simple and easy to use and feels straightforward is like music to my ears, honestly.
Yeah, at least it comes off as straightforward. It might be difficult on your end, but like the way for using it is
like wizard behind the curtain pulling strings on everything. No, I mean that's good. No, that's good. That's what we try to do. Just build it like that. And I mean, I think just the distribution that DAO House does, building that boost is actually what makes it quite easy. I think that probably is more reliable sometimes than our own UIs. So I think like I'll just say like this is my Discord, and like we really want to like work with people to come up with cool stuff and iterations of these hedges. So like whether it's like testing out the art stuff, whether it's coming up with conditional unlock ideas like George mentioned, or new ways to get value. This is the kind of stuff we love to jam on, and I think anyone who's met us and knows us will tell you like we're just trying to build cool shit. So like super open to any idea and beyond like collaborative. I'll also say we're in New York. If anyone is around New York, or if anyone comes to New York, we're like setting up a bunch of desks and stuff. So you all are welcome to work out of our office as well anytime you're here.